Jamii is on a mission to make 1,000 origami cranes to send over to Japan in commemoration of the atomic bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
So the project started back in January when we were talking with Takako Sekawa, who is a dancer choreographer and was presenting a new piece titled Echoes. And that's going to be presented in our park. And we were thinking, how can we find ways to engage our community around the creation, around the piece? And we thought about origami. And then she came up with this concept of making the 1,000 cranes that I didn't know about and many people in our community didn't know about. And so she explained the concept of the 1,000 cranes, and we thought it would be an amazing way for our community to engage with one another around a collective project of making those cranes and then afterward gifting them to a community. The question of which community to gift it to was very important and close to our hearts, so we had a lot of conversation. We didn't want to just send them to Japan and see where it would go. We really wanted to give it a meaningful, purposeful gift. And so Takako and I went actually to Japan 10 years ago, and we know a community in Matsue City with the Ashibue Theatre, Shiinomi Theatre, and the director is Tsukushi Sonoyama. And then we contacted Madame Tsukushi and we asked her if she would accept and receive our gift. And she was very honored about our community coming together and doing that, because she's actually a second-generation survivor of the atomic bombing, and it meant a lot to her that we would come together to create this gift for her.
I've been in this community for the last 10 years, raising a boy, and it's been a fabulous community. I really like this community, and now I cannot leave here. I'm very happy that they hold an event which is related to Japan. I was asked to do an origami workshop. Yeah, we are making a bunch of cranes to send them back to Japan, and all the little kids and women from the community, well, even boys and guys. My husband actually came and then helped us out too. And, yeah, it's a really involving community activity. It is beyond my imagination that the Canadian kids or our community kids make cranes and send them back to Japan, because it's just beyond my imagination. They have done a very good job. Actually, they learn how to make it really quickly, and they are teaching adults and older people, and they seem to be very enjoying it. And I'm glad that I'm here with them. This is what I've done as a child, and this origami folding paper thing is embedded in our DNA, and it's now spread into the world, and it's really nice.
When I was a kid, I really loved making origami. With one sheet of paper, there are so many things you can do, and I think it's pretty awesome. We are here in Toronto in a real small community, doing this job, creating 1,000 origami cranes, and we will send these cranes to Japan, another community in Japan. I think this is pretty amazing, having these two communities so far from each other and being tied over these origami cranes as a symbol of friendship and hope. I was really touched by the entire concept of this origami part of Echoes.
So this is my first time ever making cranes, and it was a great experience. 11 out of 10, highly recommend. I would do it again in a heartbeat. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and having the whole community out, and I had amazing teachers, so it was a great experience.
The story of the crane and why people make 1,000 cranes comes from a young girl who was a survivor of the atomic bomb explosion. At 2 years old, she survived it, and by the time she turned 12, she realized she was sick with leukemia, and so she made it a mission for herself to create 1,000 paper cranes. And that is because the crane in Japanese culture represents longevity, so having a long life. It is supposed to represent healing and peace. And so she made it her mission to make 1,000 cranes. And there are two theories about this story, is that she was able to finish and actually go beyond the 1,000. And the other theory is that she wasn't able to finish. She actually passed before she finished her goal, and her peers, her classmates, her family members, her community came together and finished off the mission for her. And so we commemorate this young girl, we commemorate the survivors of the atomic bomb explosion, but we also want to honor this Japanese art form and art of creation. So thank you for joining us.